Hey everyone, this is Mandy Wan. So, both my December books are about science. Well, science fiction. And really more like this kind of science with stars and stuff. Oh. So Zodiac by Romina Russell is an epic science fiction meets high fantasy that's inspired by the astrological signs. And it says here, beware the 13th sign. Ominous! I also have This Shattered World by Amie Kaufman and Meagan. It's the companion novel to last year's These Broken Stars. But this one is set in some kind of war, and there's also a little bit of a shortlistness going on with this gentleman right here. And as we all know from our favorite TV show, The 100, shirtlessness is the dress code of the future. So.
Hey y'all, Pash Deluxe, aka Sarah here, and I'm drinking a holiday beer because it's almost the holidays. It is the holidays. Whatever, I'm excited. It's December, and unlike the rest of the FYA gals, I actually don't have a ton of new books on my list, which is a huge relief because I have a lot of catching up to do. So this December, I'm going to be reading books that have been on my TBR pile for a while now. First up is Girl Defective by Simone Howell. This cover is adorbs. And let me just read you a little bit of the back. It's about the dark underbelly of a curious neighborhood. It's about summer and weirdness and mystery and music. And it's about life and death and grief and romance, all the good stuff. What's not to love? Next up, Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. One of the reasons I haven't read this book is because it's huge. This is hefty. Hefty. Basically, this book is so big because it's two different books combined into one. One of the books is about an upcoming YA author who is getting into sort of the YA scene. And apparently Scott used real-life examples in terms of the YA authors in the book, so that sounds juicy. Then the other book is the book that the girl wrote, which apparently is super epic and intense. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But like, seriously, that's big. This is really heavy, you guys. Oh yeah, and also, Merry Christmas! Also, did you guys see my tree?
Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and I have something for you. It says, doing the dishes, the bar exam, my little brother, even when I dressed him in a tutu, and terrible taste in boyfriends. That would be a list of things that didn't kill me, which is the memoir that I've read for December by Jason Schmidt. Unlike my list, however, it is not a happy tale. It is a true story, and for example, it starts out when Jason comes home as a teenager to find his father crawling around on the kitchen floor in a pool of his own blood. They can't afford an ambulance, so he has to call a taxi to take his father to the hospital. All the while, he's hoping that his father might just finally die and put them both out of his misery. And then he has to instruct the poor taxi driver to clean his taxi with bleach because his father has AIDS. It doesn't get any more cheerful from there. It is the story of a really terrible childhood, and it should come with a trigger warning for bullying and assault and maybe a whole other myriad of issues that could definitely bother some folks. I'm not sure why it's marketed as YA. It's good, but the only reason I can think of to give that to teenagers, and by the way, I would definitely recommend it for older teenagers, probably 15 to 18, because it, like I said, it's dark. The only reason I can think of as marketing as YA is that maybe somebody will read this, and if they've had a similarly awful childhood, they'll be heartened to see that somebody can persevere and have a happy adulthood. But it's definitely not a December book. It's not a January book. maybe March, April, when, you know, the birds are singing and the flowers are out and bunnies are frolicking. Maybe that would be a good time to read this book, but yeah, it's not a happy one.
Hi guys, Mandy here with my TBR pick for December. One book I'm excited to read this month is Boundary, the second in the Books of Eva series by Heather Terrell. And it's a dystopian series about what happens to humanity after an ice age hits and everyone has to move north. And part of their culture is now seeking out artifacts left over from the before times, such as iPhones and Chanel purses